episode 4, The Red Dragon and the Gold. Not the most memorable of episode titles, but don't let that fool you. This episode is an absolute banger! The most action-packed in this season by far, without the issues that Season 1 action set pieces had. Looking at you, Damon. I am grateful for the Game of Thrones YouTubers out there. They gave me a lot of motivation for this style of content, but ever since I started making these types of videos, I slowly stopped watching those guys. I don't like the idea of accidentally copying them in any way. I want to have as much of a original point as I can. After I edit my stuff, I still watch them from time to time. But while actually making the videos, I tend to stay away from that side of YouTube personally. We start this episode off with another one of Daemon's trippy dreams. He walks into the throne room and sees Rhaenyra, her younger self, wearing the older version's clothing. The crown is too big for her head. We're getting a more vulnerable side of Daemon. We're seeing a lot of guilt in these dreams. These trippy psychedelic dreams are eating away at him. The guilt of his past actions is finally coming back to bite him. It's funny seeing him try to play politics while tripping balls. This character was perfect to put in this scenario. He meets with the heir to the Riverlands, a boy. The Lord Tully is too old and frail to meet with Daemon, so Oscar Tully isn't what Daemon expected. He needs an army, and having the Lord Paramount too old to make any decisions makes things a little complicated. Alicent makes some moon tea. I love the hypocrisy in this one. When Rhaenyra was doing very similar actions, it broke their relationship apart. Maybe Alicent's relationship with Cole is something out of spite. If she does it, why can't I? Kind of mentality.
Congratulations. You are a hypocrite.
Though I do remember Alicent making a comment on Cole way back in the first episode of Season 1.
Gods, he's Dornish.
Criston Cole marches in the Crown Lands. The Crown Lands is the region around King's Landing. Many smaller lords reside there. They are direct vassals of King's Landing itself. Rhaenyra's council is made up of lords from this region. Cole swiftly marches through this area, claiming the castles of the ones who declared for the Blacks. Cole has quite the large force, which confuses the Blacks. He's wasting time with these small itty-bitty lords. Why does he have such a large army for such a small itty-bitty castles, you know? Aemond and Cole have a plan for this castle called Rook's Rest. Without Aegon's command, this angers Aegon. He wants to be informed on such matters, yet everyone doesn't take him seriously enough. Aemond speaks in High Valyrian to Aegon. Aegon never studied well, so he speaks in a broken language. Kind of a way to dunk on your brother there, Aemond. Daemon has another vision. This time, he sees himself as Aemond. Aemond basically is a younger version of Daemon, just without the dedication to his family, I suppose. Daemon meets with a creepy witch lady named Alice Rivers. He has a strange connection with this lady. She's obviously the source of his visions. She gives him a potion of sorts, telling him he needs to sleep. He needs his sleepy time. He immediately wakes to a meeting with Sir Blackwood, and he sees his dead wife, Laena. I love this portion of the show. All right, they're really diving into the magic of the world of Westeros. That's in the books that they kind of left out in the original show. The original show, they're scared of magic, and they're allergic to magic in their original show. But this time around, they're really diving into the magical side of A Song of Ice and Fire, and I really appreciate that. Aegon speaks with Alicent, wishing for her counsel. Now, he complains about everyone. They don't care what he thinks. Alicent, though, has about enough of all of it and tells him off. Simply being king doesn't grant wisdom. She tells Aegon to do what he'll be useful for, and that is nothing. She's finally just had enough. And she just tells him to, hey, suck it up, Buttercup. You kinda suck, dude. You kinda suck. Just sit around. Sit around on your ass, please. Rhaenyra's council has gotten word that Cole marches on Rook's Rest, an easy yet small claim, and so close to Dragonstone. If one of Rhaenyra's dragons flies over there real quick and burns Cole's forces, that would be great for the war effort. Rhaenyra is confused on why Rook's Rest out of all places. There is no true military gain from such a small castle. They argue over whose dragon to send. Rhaenys is the ultimate choice. She will meet Cole on the battlefield. Rhaenyra finally tells Jace about the prophecy. We don't get another intense scene of them telling us the prophecy, though. Rhaenyra tells Jace, while we both see Aegon and Rhaenys prepare their dragons for battle. Aegon gets drunk and rash. He wants to prove himself. He's fed up. He grabs his dragon and goes to meet with Cole at Rook's Rest. We better see some dragon on dragon action, baby. Aegon, guys, don't drink and ride your dragon, okay, guys? It's not good for your health. I love their depictions of battles this season. It's gritty and gruesome, as they should be. One of my biggest critiques of the original show is that once they started to actually show the battles that they left out in the earlier seasons, they became too showboaty. Like, one of the bigger themes of A Song of Ice and Fire is just how gruesome war is, and the ramifications of having war. War is the worst outcome by far, and the books really show that. However, in the show, they really, for example, the Battle of the Bastards, okay? Beautiful scene, okay? Gorgeous scene. However, it kind of misses the point of the entire theme of A Song of Ice and Fire as a whole. But this time around, House of the Dragon, they really, besides Daemon's shit in season 1, that's, yeah. But this battle at Rook's Rest really shows just how gruesome war is. There's a lot of symbolism of dragons in A Song of Ice and Fire for being nukes in the real world, and I really see that there. Nukes are very powerful things, however, in the wrong hands, and when used in war, people of all sides, it doesn't matter who you are on the battlefield or where you are at the time, who you are really, everyone is victim to such powerful forces, and it's shown through this scene of two dragons duking it out. Everyone sees the dragon and starts to run. Cole calls for the signal. Then we see the true plan behind Cole and Aemon. Vhagar awaits in the forest. This whole siege was just to draw out a dragon. Meleys comes and burns Cole's forces. And we see just how weak an army is to a dragon. It truly is a dragon-on-dragon war. Whoever has the most amount of dragons wins, hands down, baby. As Aemon rises with Vhagar, Aegon flies over with his dragon Sunfire, ruining their sneak attack. Aemon waits just a moment. Sunfire flies towards Meleys, and they have a little tangle. Cole is confused and rightfully so pissed off when he sees Sunfire instead of Vhagar. Aegon never really stood a chance against Rhaenys. Rhaenys and her dragon have bonded for 40 years. Damn! They are basically one and the same, and Meleys absolutely bodies poor Sunfire. Then Vhagar comes out of the woodwork, and things start to change. Aegon sees his brother come in, and he thinks he's gonna come in for the clutch. Aemon says Dracarys directly on Aegon, and the king with his dragon plummets to the ground in a fiery mess. Now, it's just Meleys and Vhagar. And honestly, it's pretty close. Rhaenys stood her ground and held her own, almost taking out two of the most important figures on the Green's side. Meleys and Vhagar intertwine in the air, locking onto each other, spinning around like a dance. It's almost like a dance of dragons. Rhaenys drags Vhagar to the ground like a WWE wrestler, and then Rhaenys loses Vhagar as she flies out, losing the sight of her. Somehow Vhagar hides. This giant beast, a flying Godzilla, somehow hides, and Rhaenys flies towards the cliff. And once again, with the sneak attack, Vhagar goes for the jugular, taking out the Red Queen. You know, for being the biggest dragon on the continent, Vhagar is a sneaky little shit. What a way for Rhaenys to go out. She was one of my favorites, and it was such a blow to see her meet her end. Rhaenys was definitely the best advisor on the council. An old woman almost wiped out the biggest players on the Greens. What an episode. This was an absolute banger. I am now officially hyped for the future battles to come. We do see, though, at the end, Aegon did survive the fall, but the lad, he looks a little crispy.